events where the area looks like the Turkish checkpoint over Hanley. We'll let you make your judgments on that. Also, satellite images and maps of alleged smuggling routes. Murad Gazdiev has more on that.
Some of the accusations we heard were particularly powerful. The gloves really came off this time. The Russian Ministry of Defense accused the Turkish president, his family members and associates, Turkish elite, of being in on oil smuggling operations by Daesh, by Islamic State. Stolen oil, smuggled from Syria into Turkey.
The criminal trade of Islamic State oil involves Turkey's political elite, including President Erdogan and his family.
Russia has released this map and satellite images as evidence of the oil smuggling routes used by ISIS, by Daesh. The first one, the westernmost one, transports crude from an oil field near Raqqa, the capital of ISIS, all the way to the Turkish Mediterranean coast, from where this oil is sold internationally. What isn't sold internationally is sold domestically. Usually they transport the oil from here via trucks at nighttime. The central route is from the village of Deir ez-Zor, where there is a massive oil production infrastructure all the way up north into Turkey. Near the village of Batman, there's a big oil refinery. Apparently, massive oil convoys have been spotted here. In the east, there are Syrian oil fields and Iraqi oil fields. Again, oil via trucks is transported north to Turkey. Apparently, in mid-November, Russian surveillance craft satellite images revealed 1,000 trucks, over 1,000 trucks, simultaneously moving oil from Syria into Turkey.
Reacting to Russia's claims, Washington chose to downplay the revelations of vast oil smuggling into Turkey. The US State Department focusing instead on stressing that Ankara is a trusted partner and ally.
One of the images shows, and there are many, shows 240 trucks on the Turkish side of the border and over 40 similar trucks on the Syrian side of the border.
Again,
Are you saying that it doesn't raise any red flags here?
Well, look, what I'm trying to say is that there's no Turkish government complicity in some operation to buy illegal oil from ISIL. It's just we just don't believe that to be true.
Can you speak for all elements of the Turkish government? Are you able to,
Matt?
Are you able to say that there isn't anyone? I mean, how are you so sure?
We work very closely with the Turks. We've been in dialogue with them, discussions with them. They're a NATO ally and a trusted partner.
Well, we've spoken to lawmakers from the US and Iraq, and both believe Washington's not trying hard enough to crush ISIL, even though it's capable of doing much more to stop its rise.
I don't want to criticize in public the United States of America, because we have a strategic framework agreement between Iraq and the US. But we have been telling the United States of America, follow the dollar sign. The dollar sign is generated by Daesh through smuggling oil from Iraq and Syria to sell it in the black market in Turkey. We've been saying this for months and months and months. Now they consider these trucks carrying fuels from Iraq to Turkey as a target. Before, a few weeks ago, they considered it as a civilian target, and they will never have attacked it.
If the United States seriously wanted the war to end, it would stop clearing those gaps in the Turkish border, allow the Kurds to close the gaps, and the oil supply would be cut off and the war would end. We're supplying arms, and we're supplying a logistics route for oil and fuel. Oil goes out, fuel comes back in to fuel the terrorist tanks, Humvees, and other weapons that they have captured from the United States.
Turkey's alleged shady dealings with Islamic State were also mentioned by Vladimir Putin in his annual State of the Nation address on Thursday. The Russian president called for an end to any business with ISIL and vowed for a strong response to Turkey for shooting down that Russian warplane.
We always considered betrayal the most shameful act. Let those in Turkey know that those who shot our pilots in the back and who are trying to cover up their crimes. Only Allah knows why Turkey did this. Apparently Allah tried to punish the ruling elite there and deprive them of their minds.
Мы не собираемся и не будем бряцать оружием.
There will be no hysterical reaction from us that is dangerous for ourselves and the entire world. We don't do any saber rattling. But if anyone thinks that after committing such a backstabbing war crime and killing our pilots will just suffer with tomatoes or some sanctions in other economic areas, they are mistaken.
Vladimir Putin also called for a united front against terror, which he said should be done under UN supervision. He also stressed that no nation should offer protection to extremists, shelter terrorists, have contact with them or use them for their own gains.